What is up, awesome people of the internet? Guys, happy Tuesday. Hopefully, y'all are having a great start to your day. We got some stuff to talk about, okay? Number one, we're going to talk about LSU and their awesome win yesterday against Florida. It's a tale of two quarters in a way and a tale of Jada Richard just, showing everybody that she is absolutely a bucket. We'll also talk about Washington and their win yesterday as well. And then we're going to save a lot of the conversation to talk about the AP Top 25 poll and how, sure, it's a metric we could talk about, but at the end of the day, I don't think it matters. And I want to say my argument to you all of why it does not matter. And so, yeah. Anyway, that and a whole lot more. Let me know your thoughts on the games yesterday and also about the top 25. All right, that and a whole lot more on today's episode of QITM in the Morning, which starts right now.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Are you ready? Ready, set, go.
All right, ladies and gents, we begin with the first story of the day, and that was LSU and their game yesterday against Florida. Now, this game was, I would say, very competitive in the first half. I thought it was pretty competitive, where, sure, LSU did look like the better team, but there was still some room, possibly, for Washington, for Florida to make a comeback, but ultimately LSU kind of closed the gates in the third quarter. Like, nah, ain't no way you coming back in this one, and kind of won it from there. But the thing I want to talk about in this game is the importance of having a lot of options on your team. And I want to talk about that in terms of LSU. Because when we talk about LSU, of course, we're talking about certain names. We're talking about Michaela Williams, right? Walking bucket. We're talking about Big Foe, Flau'jae Johnson. We're talking about Mylasia Fulwiley, right? When we're talking about scoring the basketball, those are kind of the names that a lot of people would say, right? Michaela, Mylasia, Flau'jae. Not necessarily in that order, but they'd say probably those three names. The thing about LSU and the thing that they have shown in their wins in SEC play, like after they got over those 2-game losses, the thing that we're seeing is just anybody can get it for LSU. And I think yesterday's game was a easy way to tell that, because if you watch yesterday's game and you saw, like, I thought Flau'jae and Michaela, they started off the game really well, right? Flau'jae had this crazy Euro step, sort of like fast break bucket where I was like, dang, that's fire. You know what I'm saying? Michaela had a couple buckets that I was like, okay, this looks pretty good. Anyway, my point is, I don't think Michaela or Flau'jae had a bad game, right? I don't think they did. Now, as a whole, LSU needs to clean up some of those turnovers. Like sometimes it's like, I get what you're trying to do with that pass, but maybe you should hold back a little bit. I'm just saying. Anyway, they didn't have a bad game, Michaela or Flau'jae. They each attempted 9 field goals. Michaela ends up with 12 points. Flau'jae 8 points. And we talk about Mylasia Fulwiley. She comes off the bench. She gets in the highlight reel again. 9 field goals. Ultimately ended up with 15 points. Had a really hilarious backwards layup. Like, she was caught in no man's land. Didn't know what to do. Just threw it up backwards and it went in. It went in. I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, girl, you are exactly who you have been since your freshman year. hey, you just going out there and try it. Now, if she would have missed it, that would have been a different story. That would have been a very, very different story. But anyway, 9 field goals for all 3 of those players. And the player who shot the ball the most for LSU was their point guard. It was Jada Richard, who ended up, taking 10 shots, ultimately scores 20 points in this one, some big threes, can get to the rim. Jada Richard showed, I mean, she kind of shown it in the past, but like, I think this game was just another example that she's basically saying, hey, I got a bag. I know that a lot of times, people don't pay that much attention to me, or people say, oh, I need to be on the bench and blah, 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 blah. But I got a bag, and I'm going to show y'all that I got a bag. I'm not going to force it, but when I have a shot, I'm going to take it. I'm not afraid to take it. I was a scorer in high school, and I am the PG for this team, but don't forget, I can score as well. And so I thought Jada Richard was great. Amaya Joyner was really getting after them boards, especially those O boards. Like, here's the thing. This is something that I feel like I've talked about this year when it comes to LSU. Their inability to grab rebounds and their inability of their posts to grab rebounds. We are seeing, Flage and Michaela and whatnot. They're crashing the boards, and so that's good. But there was a inability in some instances of the posts really just being LSU, like the historic, like the last couple of years LSU, the version of LSU that would be very physical around getting rebounds and do a lot of putbacks. And I thought Amaya Joyner ended up doing that yesterday, which was, really, really good to see if you're an LSU fan. 8 rebounds, 8 offensive rebounds, I should say, for her. Ended up getting some putback opportunities. Ultimately, she did have 14 points in yesterday's game. So I thought those players, they really did step up and play really well yesterday for LSU. Now, again, they played Florida. Florida can surprise you. They do have Liv McGill, who is just flat out amazing. But I will say that, like, defensively, LSU did a great job of containing her. Here's the thing. Liv McGill, she ended up with only 14 points. 14. For a walking bucket like Liv McGill, that's nothing. Liv McGill can score 25 plus points a game. She's that good. And yesterday, she was held. And so, hey, it was good to see. It was good to see. Overall, LSU played well. Well, Amaya Joyner, Jada Richard, Michaela Williams, Flage Johnson, Mylasia played well. Right? Takaya Johnson got some minutes in there. I will just say, and y'all are saying it in the comments, yes, Kate Koval does need to get tougher. 100%. 100%. 100% she needs to get tougher. I don't think that changes this year. Like, I just don't. Yeah, it ain't changing. But yeah, she does need to get stronger and get more physical down there. Because you're a post in the SEC. You gotta be physical. You gotta be. Otherwise, you kind of messed up. All right, so fantastic win for LSU. This is a team that is just continuing to soar, really. Again, remember they lost their first 2 SEC games, and since then, 5 straight wins, including some very quality wins in this one. And ultimately, they continue winning, and they had a big crowd yesterday as well, which was great to see. Supposedly they did not have class, so a lot of the students showed up. They had a giveaway too. So hey, giveaways work. I'm seeing men's college basketball teams doing giveaways too. Like everybody does giveaways. So whatever they got to do to get people in the dough, the crowd was in it, and it worked. All right, so that was LSU getting the dub yesterday against Florida. Next up, I do just want to quickly mention that Washington was the other top 25 team that played yesterday. To be fully transparent, I didn't actually get a chance to actually watch the game itself, but Washington did beat Rutgers 76-48. And when we talk about Washington, we're always talking about we're always talking about Savia Sellers, I should say. I was about to say Cheyenne Sellers. Nope. Cheyenne Sellers was at Maryland last year. She graduated. She went to the WNBA. She was hurt, so she got cut, and now she is on her road back to the WNBA. Not Cheyenne Sellers. Savia Sellers. But Savia Sellers actually wasn't dominant yesterday in the game. It was all about Avery Howe from USC, remember her from last year, and Bryn Magachi, who did her thing in this one off the bench. But again, full disclosure, I did not get a chance to actually watch the Washington versus Rutgers game, but Washington killed Rutgers. Bryn had 17 points in yesterday's game. All right. Now, I do want to spend quite a bit of time talking about the top 25. All right, but I'm showing a score from that I have on yesterday. All right, let's see. I'm trying to see if y'all have any comments. Teams pick on Koval. I mean, why wouldn't they? Shouldn't they? Like if you're working on a game plan as an opposing coach, yeah, I would say go at Kate Koval anytime she's in the game. Absolutely, go after her, cause she is the no offense, she's the weakest link. She's the weakest link. So yeah, go after her. Shamika says, surprised the crowd wasn't impacted more with the weather. Tiger fans are lit. Well, I think it's probably also because students were on campus. My understanding is students were on campus and there were no classes. So there was probably a lot of parties happening, but there was nothing for students to do. And they could go to the game, and if they get there early, they can get a free sweatshirt. And also, they probably just wanted to watch the game, period. I think there's a benefit of class being in session but not happening that day, that led to not the amount of people, but how early some folks were, because supposedly well before they opened the doors, it was a long line and whatnot, and it was cold, so yeah. But people showed up, man. People showed up, and they were lit. They were lit, and I can't wait to be one of those people in the crowd for LSU versus South Carolina. So Unknown says LSU home game crowds are always packed. People do show up. They do. Jasper says Oklahoma jumping 6 spots after coming off a 3-game losing streak is jokes. Well, speaking of those jokes, let's talk about the AP poll for this past week. Now, when it comes to the AP poll, first of all, let's just go through it first up. Let's just go through it. All right, and we can have a real discussion about what is happening to the AP poll for women's basketball we can have that discussion because I think there's some stuff that we should talk about. All right, when it comes to this. All right, number one, we did see a bit of history made in the AP poll. The SEC had 10 teams in the top 25, which, from my understanding, is a record, right? With Georgia getting added to the top 25, this is looking like one of the best SEC seasons we've ever seen in women's college basketball. Like, truly, almost everybody is competitive in the SEC. But let's quickly go down the list of the top 25 and let's talk through it. Now, of course, number one, we got UConn because they're undefeated. So, yeah, UConn is still at the top. We also have UCLA at number 2. They did move up one spot from last week. They are 19-1 on the season. We saw South Carolina go down one from last week, going down to the number 3 spot. That's something to note. Also, a thing to note is that, like, the reason for them going down was, probably in direct relation to their loss against Oklahoma. All right, so they lost against Oklahoma in overtime, but they did beat Vandy last week, and so that's why they just moved down one spot from the previous week. We saw Texas stay steady at number 4. Vandy is steady at number 5 after losing their first game of the season against South Carolina. We see LSU staying at number 6. Louisville is number 7. They move up one spot. And fun fact, they are playing Stanford on ESPN on Thursday. The reason, like, Stanford's actually got a couple of really good placements on TV so far this year, and I think some of that was probably maybe scheduled before Tara was fully leaving. And I don't know. I just wonder, like, there's quite a few games I'm like actually catching on real TV on like real networks of Stanford, and I'm like, okay, are these like leftover agreements from when Tara was the coach? Stanford's like pretty decent. They're not a team you should write home about, but they're pretty decent, I would say. Number 8, we got the Iowa Hawkeyes, who are absolutely doing their thing in conference play, 18-2 on the season. We got Michigan, Wolverines doing their thing. They did end up dropping, though, 2 spots from last week. They are 17-3 on the season. A thing to note about Michigan, if you all do not remember, they did end up winning both of their games last week against Rutgers and USC. But remember, last Monday, they lost to Vanderbilt. And that game actually happened the day that last week's AP poll was released. And so that's something to note there. We also have Oklahoma at number 10. They did move up 6 spots from last week. And this is actually the thing that has caused a lot of controversy. So I actually want to talk about this a little bit. Okay, so Oklahoma is 16-4 on the season. And Oklahoma lost 3 games in a row. They lost against, at the time, 18th ranked Ole Miss. Then they lost again to, at the time, 6th ranked Kentucky. Then they lost again to now 6th ranked LSU. Now, I would argue personally, now you all let me know your thoughts. I would argue that at the time of these losses, none of them were horrible losses. But they're losses that deserve you getting dropped down in the AP poll. Ole Miss currently is number 17. Kentucky currently is number 18. LSU is still at 6. So you lose to those teams, but you beat the number 2 team in the country. Well, at the time, now number 3 in South Carolina. So, of course, you should go up somewhat, right? But should you go up 6 spots? Should you really? I would argue no. I understand the reasoning for bumping them up and giving them a better placement in the top 25, but I don't think I agree with the placement for Oklahoma. That jump was huge. That jump was pretty huge. And so yeah, and again, AP polls are subjective. And so, yeah, I don't think they should have moved all the way up to 10, though. But the pollsters will do what they want to do, okay? Chicago Cheetah says, absolutely, you should go up 6 spots because South Carolina is viewed as the standard in the SEC. Yes, South Carolina is the standard, but you lost 3 games in a row. Ole Miss, Kentucky, LSU. Kentucky and Ole Miss, they dropped even further. Ole Miss is at 17, but like Kentucky dropped like a rock after their win against Oklahoma, right? Also, don't forget that Sunday, Oklahoma barely won against Auburn. And so I don't think you should move up 6 spots. Now, if those losses didn't happen, yeah, jump up that high. But I don't know. They're a little bit too inconsistent for me. A little bit too inconsistent. All right? So, yeah, I don't agree with moving up 6 spots. But again, hey, the voters do whatever they want. All right, number 11, we have Ohio State. The Buckeyes are 18-3 on the season. We got TCU at number 12. They did drop from being number 9 last week. All right. Remember, they did lose to Ohio State this past week. All right. Number 13, we got Michigan State. They're staying steady. Number 14, same thing. Baylor is staying steady. Number 15, we got Tennessee. Number 16, we got Maryland. 17, Ole Miss. Kentucky at number 18. We got Princeton at number 19. Duke, number 20. 21, we got Texas Tech. And a big game for Texas Tech this week as they play Iowa State. That's going to be definitely a game to watch. We also have West Virginia at number 22. We got Georgia making their debut to the rankings. I told y'all last week that Georgia needed to be added. And luckily for us, Georgia has been added to the top 25. They are red hot this year. Like I really, really am surprised by the Georgia Bulldogs this year, but very, very excited about their success so far this year. Big games this past week, including knocking down Kentucky. They are 18-3 on the season for the Georgia Bulldogs. Number 14, number 24, we have Alabama, who are also 18-3 on the season. And we finally have Washington rounding out the top 25 at number 25. Okay. All right. El Kune says, in the SEC, you can never be off your game. All the SEC teams are good. For the most part, yeah. For the most part. For the most part, yes. Which is why the SEC is my most watched league. I watch more SEC games than anything else for women's college basketball. I feel like I'm always talking about SEC on this channel because the SEC is great. I like to watch the best of the best go against each other. And so yeah. I enjoy watching them go against each other. It's very, very, very fun. All right. Henry says I googled disciple, so none the wiser. It's disciple without the vowels. It's disciple without the vowels. So yeah, my church came out with some new swag, and I was like, oh, I like this, because it's kind of confusing, and so I like it. I just thought it was funny. So I got it. But yeah, that's what it's disciple without the vowels. So, but it's like disciple. Oh man. Oh man. Okay. Let's see what else y'all got to say. Let's see. Oh, some of y'all laughing. Oh man. Anyway. Let's move on to the other thing that I really wanted to talk about in this one. And I wanted to talk about, in light of some people getting very upset about the AP poll and saying this don't make no sense, that about Oklahoma and blah 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 blah. I wanted to actually wanted to have a conversation about the fact that the AP poll doesn't actually matter. Here's the thing. I love talking about polls. I do adore. I enjoy talking about them. I really do. I really do. But polls don't matter in women's college basketball. I don't know if you all know this, but it doesn't. It doesn't matter at all. And the reason why is because there's actually a committee that determines who ends up in the NCAA tournament. They decide that. And so yeah, it doesn't matter. The AP poll, it's fun. It's a great discussion thing. I don't think it should go away. I think it should absolutely stay because I just think it's fun. But doesn't matter. At the end of the day, whether you are ranked in the AP Top 25, regardless of if you're a number 5 or number 20 or number 25, or maybe you're not even on the AP Top 25. At the end of the day, it means nothing about determining who actually gets in the NCAA tournament. Zilch. Nada. Nothing, guys. Because there is a 12-person Division I women's basketball committee that determines that. All right? So, a couple things about this committee. Again, as I said, it's 12 people. And people serve 5 years on it. And for some reason, so here's the qualification. So like Of the 12 people, one has to be from each of the football bowl subdivision conferences. Which why are we paying attention to football subdivision conferences in women's college basketball? I don't know, but one representative has to be from each of those football bowl subdivision autonomy conferences. 4 of the representatives need to be from the 7 highest ranked non-autonomy conferences based on basketball success. 4 of the representatives have to be selected from non-autonomy conferences. And 8 of the members are selected at large. All right. So if you're interested in some of the institutions that are being represented, George Mason got someone on the list. Louisville has someone. BYU, Villanova, University of Wisconsin in Milwaukee, University of Nebraska at Lincoln, Central Michigan, Missouri Valley. Someone from the Missouri Valley Conference. We got someone from San Jose State. Got someone from Vandy, someone from Western Carolina, and someone from Yale. Those, I'm not going to say all their names because you're not going to know any of the names. You're going to know the schools. And so that's why I wanted to talk through that real quick. So those people from those institutions are the ones who are actually selecting who makes it into the NCAA tournament. All right? And if you're wondering, well, what are the qualifications? Since AP polls doesn't matter, what's the qualifications? No, it's supposed to say qualifications. Oh, darn. I didn't do this right. Well, if you're wondering about the qualifications, let's actually go through it. Let's go through it right now. The 2026 NCAA tournament will feature, as usual, an automatic qualifier for each of the 31 conferences. So 31 teams will automatically get a berth into the NCAA tournament. This happens every single year. Those 31 teams are the ones who won their conference championships. And so those 31 teams, automatically, you're in. All right, so there will be some representation from each of the conferences for women's college basketball because those champions make it to the tournament automatically. So 31 of those teams make it automatically. And the additional 37 teams that make it into the tournament are at-large teams, which is determined by that 12-person committee I just talked about. So that 12-person committee actually determines the 37 who makes it. And one thing they did end up adding this season was they voted to add a wins above bubble evaluation metric to the selection criteria. All right. So wins above bubble. It shows how many more or fewer wins a team has against its schedule versus what a bubble team would expect to have against the same schedule. All right. And so, yeah, they did reference the men's committee, which does use the NET, the net, to determine the opponent strength. All right. So here is what the chairperson of the women's college basketball committee. This is what she had to say. Her name is Amanda Braun, and she's from the University of Wisconsin in Milwaukee. She said, "We believe the wins above bubble will be an important tool to help objectively see the value of each win and loss and how to best evaluate and emphasize a team's strength of schedule and results. Whether it's a non-conference or conference game, no matter the scoring margin, the WAB is going to tell us a lot about what a team did against the schedule they played. This will be used along with the established selection criteria when considering the selection and seeding teams. All right. While we are looking forward to implementing the WAB into the team evaluation process, it's still about 12 committee members using their individual judgment after watching hundreds of games, investing many hours of personal team observations, review and comparison of objective data, plus discussions with coaches and campus / conference representatives that dictate how each committee member ultimately votes on the selection of the 37 at-large teams, followed by the seeding and bracketing of the 38-team championship bracket each year. So basically what she's saying is, yes, we have the WAB this year that we're going to be using to help evaluate and determine what 37 teams are that make it to the at-large bid. However, at the end of the day, our 12 members are individuals that can decide to follow the WAB or not. So, yeah, that's something to note. All right. That is something to note. So the AP top 25 doesn't matter. So sure, people could be upset about whatever. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But this does. Kind of. Because at the end of the day, the committee can do whatever they want. They don't have to follow the WAB, even though they now have it. All right. But yeah, that's the show. Thank y'all so much for watching. Yeah, thank y'all so much for watching. We got some more coverage of what is happening tomorrow in women's college basketball, WNBA. We're gonna talk about a little bit of everything likely tomorrow. So hopefully y'all are down for that, and we'll also have a Pro Hoops recap video because there's a lot of stuff about Unrivaled I want to talk about. And Athletes Unlimited is coming soon, so we'll talk about that as well. Chicago Cheetah says it's definitely great that they put together the schedule like that in terms of all those qualifications. I love it. Hey, I appreciate it, Charles. I appreciate it. King Charles, the 3,778. I appreciate it. I think I'm a nice person. Yes. Teacher says she is, so lay off the cursing. Yes. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Have a great day. Be productive. Tell somebody that they matter because they absolutely do. I haven't said that in a while, but I truly mean it. I gotta start saying that more. You matter. You are important, and I am so very happy that you are on this earth, guys. Have a great day. All right, and I will see y'all tomorrow. I love ya. Tomorrow, you're only a day away. Bye-bye.
Are you ready?
Ready, set, go.